This video is going to show you how to use the section tool in Revit. This tool is almost identical to the elevation tool. The only difference being really is the graphic that you see in the plan views. So to create a section, we can either select it from the View tab, or more easily on the Quick Access toolbar we can select the section tool. We're in the level 1 floor plan and we click 2 points to create a section. We also want to make sure that we snap to the horizontal. You can end up getting some odd view conditions if the elevation and the things that you're looking at are not perpendicular to the view. So once we've drawn the section, it remains selected. We see a new category show up in the project browser. It's got a somewhat generic name that should be renamed. We click on it again to select it here, and we'll notice the width. So these dashed lines on the side, when we're in the section, would be the sides of the crop region. This far dashed line represents the far clip plane, and then the arrow here allows us to flip the direction that the section's looking. The depth of the far clip does not change, so you might need to adjust that. And then on both sides of this section line are these cycle head tags, so we can change each side of the section head. So you can have the section head show up on both sides, or a tail on both sides if it was a preliminary type drawing. Now we have to click off of it to be able to double click on this section head here to be able to get that to open up. And now we see a nice section through our building. We see the roof, the ceilings, the floor in section. We see the stair beyond being obscured by the bulkhead. We see the low roof, the exterior window, the slab on grade. We see the level datums showing up. So if we switch back to our level 1 floor plan view, we could make a couple adjustments here. Maybe we just want this to be a sliver section through the building, which is what some people sometimes prefer to do. So I pull that back so that it's right next to the section line. Then also maybe we want this section to cut through a window. So I double click on the section head. We can see a window here. We don't see anything beyond, like the window that we were seeing on the exterior wall here previously. So we can close this view. Now we'll add a section looking the other direction. Press escape to unselect it so that we can double click on the head. And so we notice how the cross section is showing up in this view because it intersects the cut of this view. We can select it and even adjust it here if we wanted to. Of course, now if we go back to this original view we drew, the other cross section that we just added is showing up here as well. So Revit maintains some of these simple tasks for us. We actually have the ability then to turn off the crop region. We can increase the detail level so that we get more detail showing up in the walls. We notice that the flutes for that floor structure are actually showing up in the section. Remember, that relates to the span direction symbol when we're sketching the floor, which direction those go. The last thing we'll look at is how we can actually make changes and add notes and dimensions similar to what we were able to do in an interior elevation. So we can add floor to ceiling dimension if needed. When we add a floor, the floor thickness goes from the floor level down. When we add ceilings, it goes from the above floor level that we specified. The thickness of the ceiling goes from that up. Anytime we can select something in a model, we can adjust the value or the type. So I could change this to a single door if I wanted to, or leave it as a double door. So that just shows you the power of the software, that anywhere you can see it, if it's wrong, you can just fix it there instead of having to remember to go fix it somewhere else later. Oftentimes, once something is dimensioned, that same dimension can be used to drive the location of that geometry. So in addition to the temporary dimensions, the permanent dimension we added can also adjust the ceiling height. So that's a quick look at adding sections to your model in Revit.